There's hardly anyone among us who has not felt the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic in some way. But when it comes to the financial impact, some people have suffered a lot more than others. They've been laid off, permanently lost their job, left in a state of limbo, having to empty their savings or rely on the generosity of other people to feed their families and pay their bills. That's why I'm asking you right now for your help. Our 13 Food for Families campaign is an effort to raise money for different organizations helping to feed families during these times. Could you please, if you can, consider making your part in this donation today? You can do so by texting 616-559-1310. You can also go online to our website, 13onyourside.com/hunger. And if you're like me, you have looked for every opportunity available to escape from the realities of what this pandemic has brought to all of us in our lives. The laughs have been few and far between, it seems. And for that reason, I would like to introduce you to a comedian who grew up here in Michigan, graduated from Western Michigan. He's a proud Bronco. Comedy resume is impressive. He toured with Second City, which most all of us have heard about. He co-founded the critically acclaimed sketch comedy group, the Don't We Boys. So please welcome Joe Anderson. Help make us laugh, Joe.
Thank you. Is this just you, Nick? I'm at the Comedy Project, but I think it's just you and me.
It's me and you for right now, and whoever is going to be good enough to tune in and watch, man. So we got to imagine the laughter.
That's true. Our virtual audience. How are things going, Nick?
You know what? Yeah, I keep telling people that I'm alive and kicking, and I'm still healthy. And I think when you can put those three together, alive, kicking, and healthy, it's about as good as can be expected right now, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Again, yeah, it just seems like there should be some default answer where we're acknowledging, in spite of everything, yeah, I guess I'm doing all right.
You know, a lot of jobs have been impacted, and we can't put people in comedy clubs right now, you know, like we used to. We can't put people in football stadiums. So what is a comedian to do when you can't get a crowd of people in front of you and make them laugh?
Yeah, it's been real interesting because up until we opened the Comedy Project, I had spent most of my comedy career touring. And so, we opened this, so now we have a brick and mortar place where, really, the business model is, gather groups of people together. So we have now been completely closed for about 5 months. And it is bonkers because, when we closed down, Laugh Fest was going on. And we had just a couple weeks before that, we had done our ribbon cutting grand opening. We had a week before we got shut down, we got our food license. We just gotten our liquor license a few months before it. And, so, our shows are selling out, our classes are selling out. And then, like so many people, it was just, and hard stop.
Yep.
So it has been, our plan so far had been just to kind of go dormant, preserve resources, cut costs, and work on projects here that we had still wanted to do that were low cost but fun projects. So we actually added 2 trap doors to the stage, which just something that I know will be really fun for us and for audiences when we come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, like everyone, we're definitely getting anxious to have any sense of normalcy.
We do, and part of that normalcy is laughing. I am a huge stand-up comedy fan. I go way back. To me, there's Richard Pryor and oh my God, Richard Pryor and the other dude from the late George Carlin. Those are my 2 favorites. And I still watch their old stuff today. I love stand-up comedy. So you as a stand-up comic, are you able to at least work on material right now? Is there something, the pandemic is awful, but George Carlin could always make fun of anything. Are there things we can make fun of right now?
Oh, for sure. We've been really busy writing. So I mostly, a lot of my background had been stand-up. The Comedy Project is actually no stand-up at all. It's all
improv.
It's all sketch and improv.
Yep.
So sketch is really, the way I often describe sketch comedy is like stand-up with friends.
Yeah.
So sketch comedy is, like Key and Peele, Saturday Night Live, those kinds of shows. And so, yeah, we've definitely been writing lots of material, all the different, cast members and writers here. And it's interesting because, on the one hand, when we are able to start doing shows, whether there are a couple online things that I think we're going to do just like for fun as an outlet. So whether it's for that or when we come back, you do have to be careful because at some point people aren't going to want to, you don't want to do a whole show about what we all just went through because it's like, okay, we need an escape from that.
Yeah.
So walking that line is going to be interesting, figuring out how much people do want us to comment on it without like, oh yeah, I remember, don't worry.
Yep. I forever remember, I think after 9/11, this is really the only thing I think in my lifetime I can relate this to. And I remember the first time that I laughed after 9/11. Everyone remembers, I think, the first Saturday Night Live that Rudy Giuliani was on. But I remember the first Late Show with David Letterman. And God rest his soul, Regis Philbin just passed. He was, I think, the first guest. And Letterman gave this really heartfelt monologue about 9/11. Very powerful. And then at the end, he just went, thank God Regis is here so we have something to make fun of. So we got to laugh. I think it's such a human nature thing. That's why people like you and what you guys do and improv actors do is so important.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and I think one of the things that we really have fun with is, and I think one of the reasons why I'm so drawn to like sketch comedy and improv comedy is it's so scenic and it's so situational.
Mm-hmm.
We've definitely been talking about, like those, those things that have become really kind of pressure cooker things, like, when it first started, you'd get all the stuff like, hey, listen, make sure you don't, waste this time. This is a chance to be really productive. And then, a couple of weeks later, all the stuff would come out like, don't put too much pressure on yourself to be productive. And so, those things, and you end up just getting, you end up training yourself as you go through like comedic life to kind of like notice things and jot them down. Like I used to tell people that like the main difference between someone who does comedy and someone who doesn't, because I believe, everyone's funny. Like I firmly believe that, even people who say they're not funny, like they're saying funny things all the time. But the difference between like kind of like whatever, a normal person and someone like me who's doing comedy as a job is that when I say something funny, I write it down and I say it again, I work on it. And so that kind of that practice and that mindset of noticing a thing and it's like, oh, that's kind of funny, or that's going to be funny in a month.
I see when you guys come back, I see sketches on working from home. I see sketches on Zooming. I see all these things that have kind of, like I see sketches on, the wrong ways to wear masks. I don't know, because I consider myself someone, I think everyone's funny too. I think I'm someone who's funny but can't do comedy. I think they're two different things. I can't do comedy, but I can be funny unintentionally. But I see all these things that are happening in everyday life now, and I love satire. I love taking comedy and pointing an ironic finger at society and what the world is like. That's when I think people like you are at your absolute best, when you can hold up a mirror to society, and there's a lot to look at right now.
Yeah, for sure. I know someone, I can't remember who started writing it, but someone was writing a sketch about how now that people are working from home, there was one, there's someone in the office who's like the jerk at the office, but now they don't have anyone to be a jerk to. And like, what's that like? Like, what about them?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I saw somebody making, this is going to date me and you both because we'll get this reference. Rob Schneider's copier guy from the old SNL skits.
Yeah.
Like they said, he's still showing up to work. He knows it's safe. He's the only one there, but he doesn't have anyone to say making copies to.
Yep. Still going through the motions.
Exactly. So it's, oh man, because I think we miss laughing, we miss interaction. Even like I was talking with a coworker here at work, we have a skeleton crew. Most of us are still working from home, and one of the best things about walking into, I think, any work environment is interacting and laughing with your friends. And that has been yanked away from us in such a way right now. I think that's part of the trauma, I think, is that we aren't with our friends to laugh and have a good time.
I know. I do think, especially so if there's been like, probably especially for like you guys, so if so many people like worked from home, and then there's that first time when the skeleton crew is going to come back to work, and it just seems like people are walking in for the first time after not seeing anyone for weeks, and they're just like, oh,
Yeah.
person, like, and we're just like forgetting. We haven't been doing the things that we've been doing. Like we're shaking hands poorly, but then we're like, oh no, we don't shake hands anymore.
Well, I remember the night of, and again, this is a hard transition, but the night of the riot in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
We'd been working from home for a while, and suddenly it was breaking news, and we had to have all hands on deck, and the newsroom was filled, and I felt claustrophobic because there were a normal amount of people here. It's like, so getting back to the new normal, it won't have been normal anymore. The new normal is what we're doing now, and we're going to have to get to a new normal, which is kind of the old normal. And now we've got a grammar sketch almost that we can work on what's the new and the old normal. So it is just bizarre right now. So
no, we're trying to do, like we're thinking about, like right now we have the space set up for, I don't know if you've seen the theater. I can send you some pictures in case you want to like throw that up. But we have the space set up for 25 people, which is 25% capacity, because a few weeks ago we thought that's what was about to be allowed. Mm-hmm. But like you said, whatever that new normal is, because I even think about obviously like a big expulsion of laughter, like how terrified someone might be of that. And so do we, I feel like you'd almost be saying, okay, we're going to be doing something pretty funny in a second. So y'all are going to want to grab your bags. And when you feel like you're going to laugh, you're going to want to put your bag over your head and then you take that off. And
I think there was an amusement park somewhere that said, yeah, we're going to open up the roller coaster, but we don't want you screaming on the roller coaster.
Yeah, scream inside your heart.
Inside your heart? Is that what it said?
Yeah, it was.
That's like telling people to have a heart attack almost.
Yeah.
Don't scream if you have a coronary. That's okay.
Yeah.
No.
We've had I think you're right. I mean, definitely the desire is there. I mean, we've had lots of people calling, asking like, when are we going to start doing classes again? Because that had been, we'd been selling out all of our classes and we had to cancel all of them. Yeah. So right now we're hoping to restart those after Labor Day. Our space is big enough. We've got 5,000 square feet. And so, we can do some 8 to 10 person classes pretty easily.
Good.
But yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah. We're going to laugh again, Joe. The Comedy Project is going to be a big part of that in the West Michigan area. You guys are fantastic. We love what you do, and we can't wait to get there and have you guys make us laugh again.
Yeah. Thanks, Nick.
All right. Joe Anderson with the Comedy Project, everyone. Joe, thank you very much. And once again, please, if you can, donate to 13 Food for Families now by texting 616-559-1310. You can also go online to 13onyourside.com/hunger. Joe, we will see you and have laughs on the other side of this, my friend.
All right. Sounds great.
Bye.